Greetings to everyone who's watching BNP TV today. This is your standpoint once again, and I'm so excited to have you guys. Always a pleasure to have you. And before I introduce my guest today, let me go straight to the topic of the day. Today we're talking about money. We've been talking about money all around these last days, and today we're also going to talk about money again. This is something that is really important here, because sometimes we take it as a taboo, whereas we know this is something very, very useful. Without it, it's hard to live. We talk about the country first of all. I mean, Burundi. You know that. Some people might know, others know. World Bank shows that more than 87% of Burundians are living under $2 a day, meaning that's the money they can get each and every single day, which shows that their purchasing power is somehow low. So we want that today are really able to manage and be able to live a better life. And then the topic of the day will be going like this: the more money we have, the more money we spend. Do you think that's true? What's your take on that? Let me give the floor to my two guests so as they elaborate on that. And before that, maybe let's also let them introduce themselves a little bit.
My name is Greta Ngabire. I'm a mechanical student, and also I'm very happy to be here. Yeah, it's a pleasure. I hope we're going to have best moments. And
also we have our brother over here. We call him Mr. Captain. Hey, would you please also introduce a little bit about yourself?
My name is Elizen Sengiyumva, and I'm very pleased to be here in this place. I'm a bachelor's degree holder in organizational communication. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, guys. It's always an honor, guys, to have you in the studio. And without any further ado, let us go straight to the topic once again. And I hope you got the question.
Before going straight, I would like to say that a human being will never be satisfied. Whatever I can do, you always want to get more things. So the more you get money, it's undeniably understandable that he can spend the money, because it's actually the way of spending, of satisfying himself. Yeah, so actually we human beings, we always go with a lot of things in our mind that we want to accomplish. So getting money is actually the opportunity for us to have our satisfaction accomplished. Yeah.
And let us also listen from Brother Captain.
All right, thank you very much. So for me, I think that's not a good idea. I don't think that more we get much money, more we have to consume or to spend. I don't think so. Because normally we know a human being's desire is endless, and we can never find a satisfaction for a human being. So I think however you may spend your money, you can never reach the level of satisfying yourself. But what I think should be better for us all is that we have to be good managers of the money that we are getting.
You know, you're talking about, being good managers, but sometimes I just tend to, I don't know, I'm not, favoring a lady, but it's like her viewpoint is more meaningful. How? Since you have a lot of money, for example, you're very rich, you not go to live in Buterere, you not go to live, or for example, you quite have a lot of, assets. You're not gonna, be, having the same food as somebody who doesn't have money, which means you'll have to spend more. You have to, to own a beautiful car. You have to live in a very luxurious house. So, what do you think?
I understand. I understand that your idea is somehow meaningful, but let me tell you something. Normally, I understand the spend in this context. If you're getting a lot of money, the spend, I understand the concept that we have to invest in assets, not liabilities. Because if you're buying expensive cars, if you're buying like expensive clothes, I don't know, watches, I don't know, shoes, those are liabilities. And I think if you're spending liabilities, the end is going to be very bad. So for me, I think as you're getting much money from maybe somewhere that you're working from, so I think it's a very good opportunity for you to simply take an advantage of this, save, invest, so that you can be a great person in the future. We are still growing, you know, and the future is waiting for us. So I think, but if you spend buying the assets, that's a very good idea. But if you spend in liabilities, I think that's a very bad idea. That's what I understand really with this idea. Yeah.
Well, okay, let's listen from Greta once again. Greta, he's saying spending liabilities and, you know, whatever. And you were saying that a human being is never satisfied. And that's how he has to expand also in terms of expenses. So don't you think it's also, you know, a bad idea, as he's saying, you know, when you're buying stuff and stuff, but maybe it's, as you say, it's undeniably, it's really impossible for somebody not to spend.
You can be a good manager, but still spending money. First of all, you have to understand that when you're getting money, you actually want to be independent, right? And by being independent, it's actually the way of spending money. And when you're spending money, doesn't mean that you're spending the whole money that you've get. You actually save. If it depends on the income that you are actually getting. You can save 30% of your income, but use 70%. That's why I've said you spend more money because you didn't actually use 50 or 40%, right? You've used the money more than the amount of money that you've saved.
Let me tell you one thing. You know, many people are failing here. If ever you're consuming, like you've been saying that maybe you may consume the 70% and you keep the 30%. That's very wrong. You will never get rich with that such kind of management. Listen to me, and if you don't mind, you can go and read the theory of 50, 20, 30 theory. This will be teaching you more about how, like, the management of things. So I think many people are failing when it comes to management of your money. I think when you are earning much money, as the journalist has been saying, for me it's an advantage for you to save more so that you can be a great person in the future. Let me give you a type of example. You have to know one thing, that anything that is mismanaged falls apart. Whether you're getting much money today, you don't know that tomorrow will be the same case. Maybe you'll be getting like the extra thing today, but you don't know that tomorrow will be the same case. So you have to know that anything that is mismanaged falls apart. If you're getting much money, please, for me, understand that you don't have to consume more. I think you have to be a facade person who sits far from the prison so that you can get yourself ready for the upcoming future. Because if you're getting much money, what's better for you is that you have to, that's what I understand, you have to save, to invest in things that will be more beneficial in the future. But if you are living like a townie girl, buying expensive things, like consuming in the sake of satisfying your needs and yourself, I think you are wrong. That's a very bad idea to ever follow in your life.
So, I guess I have to, before I highlight to what you're talking about, you know, you use the word, but it's really hard to, to skip, or like, because you're saying satisfying your needs, because needs something that you must, isn't it?
Yes. Can I say something about this?
Yeah, sure. Come on.
Yes, of course, as you have to understand, most of the time, we youth, we are failing in some terminologies. We have, first of all, to differ. If you want to be a good manager of the income that you are gaining, you have to differ what is a need and what is a want. Of course, yes. So that's why I say sometimes we are confusing things. The wants, we call them needs, and the needs, we call them wants.
Then that way, then you call it needs. Even the wants you have put inside the needs.
I just use a general terminology that everybody is using.
I saw Sean made it to also to reply to what you were saying.
Yeah, what I want to say is that he's actually thinking about the richness. Actually, when you've already started to get more money, it's actually already the sign of richness that you've gotten. And when a person has started to get more money, his mind starts thinking how can I actually multiply the money that I'm getting now.
No, I think it's no. That's not the main definition of richness, even if that's not what we are discussing right here.
Sure, it's always
it's related. That, but it's somehow related. Yeah. You have to understand that the fact of getting much money right now, this means a certain door aiming to the future is being opened. So for you now to keep opening many doors or to close the one that you have got, I hope you understand. So I understand that by spending much money from the income that you are getting, I don't think you are opening more doors. but you are closing them.
And also about expenses isn't something that differ rich people from poor people.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes, of course. I think yes, but I have my own way to defend
Okay,
this.
how come on?
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
The expenses differ rich from poor people, of course, yes. You know why? Both parties spend, but they spend differently. One part spend in liabilities, another part spend in assets. That's the difference. For example, like on basis of my sister's idea, if you get money, I understand that you will be consuming and spending into liabilities, which right now you see as a need, which should normally be qualified as a want in your life. But a rich person, when you get him more money, he doesn't spend in liabilities, but he spends in assets. That's the difference. So for them, spending assets makes them richer than they were before. But for you getting the small money you are getting, you spend in liabilities. This keeps rendering you poorer than you were before. That's what differs rich people from poor people. Okay?
So if you're getting more money, that will direct you to feel like you want to be independent. And from being independent, it will actually allow you, it will push you to buy those things that you're setting back, those liabilities. Like your car, you never think anymore just going to, you change the way of living. You will change the way of transportation. When you change the way of transportation, it means it's actually the way of spending your money.
So don't you think when we have, that, capacity of buying whatever you want, as she was saying about this independence, they go for it.
I don't think you're right, because listen to me. Let me first of all say something about the management for some seconds, I think, because I think it's like somehow related. So what I understand with this one is that I started saying that anything that is mismanaged falls apart. You know, my sister Greta, if you want to be great, if you want to achieve great things in your life, the things you have to do, first of all, you have to make sure you are a good manager of your things. Do you see how fat and good looking you are? At any time you are there mismanaging your body, the body will fall apart or you will disappear. So if a marriage is mismanaged, the marriage falls apart. If friendship is mismanaged, friendship falls apart. That's how I understand even the economy is that same way. Because if you try to check those rich people, they are buying private jets and everything, or luxury cars and everything. But you have to understand, the cars and private they are buying,
but are they assets? Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, okay, let me tell you. For them, they can be buying cars and private jets as an asset. With the vision of the car, with the vision of the private jet. You understand? Let me give a type of example, the context, the same context. You are earning, for example, $1.5 million monthly as like a young lady like you. Then now you say, I've been living in a certain quarter, so I just want to shift from here because now I'm getting $1.5 million. I got to maybe go somewhere to start renting a house of maybe $1 million.
Yeah.
You shift in $1 million rent. Do you think you have been a good manager? Of course, as you will look good, everybody will pay a visit, say the guys will live in a very good house, a beautiful house, but normally, financially you are broke and you will never be financially independent because you are consuming too much. That is more than the income you are getting. That's the context I'm saying. Sure. So if you see the rich people buying the private jet, you will find that if you go deeper, they got to the level of buying a private jet maybe 10 years back, but they didn't buy it. But you right now, you get a 10 million, you immediately jump to buying a car. That's a problem.
Sure, well,
it is not always the case.
But now maybe you coming to us assumption. I mean, I believe this is being real. You are confirming it because after a given period of hustling, working hard, you managing well, you get to the level whereby you will spend more than anybody else. Like those people are still down. We not be able to spend as you do.
Yeah, but if you try to understand the topic, it's like everybody in different ways we consume and we spend.
Sure.
That's the fact, okay?
Absolutely.
But we have to understand there is difference between consuming the 2% of your income and consuming the 70%. That's something big. My sister said, you may consume the 70%, then you keep the 30%. That's wrong. Rather, you should be consuming like 10, but you keep the 90%, so that you can be financially independent one day. So let's say, for example, if you see like the Elon Musk buying a private jet and everything, can you be surprised? For him, that's not a spend for him. That's like less than 1% of his income. So I'm just talking to young boys and young ladies like you and me here. So we have to be more careful when it comes to consuming. I don't think that as we earn more, as we can consume much. But I think like this, as we earn more, as we save more too, so that we can be financially independent in the future.
I want just to come back to what you say about, moving from one place to another. Okay. Remember, a living place can actually influence you. You can say, I want to move from this place, go to the other because I want to change the way of thinking. Then when you change the place, it actually permits you and make you to see making to see so far, depending on the person that are surrounding you. All right? So the other thing...
Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah. So the other thing that I would like to say about saving, so that we were saying that we should actually save more money. It depends. And coming back to what you were saying, when you save, at the end, the purpose of saving is that one day you want to spend more money than the money you could spend once you haven't yet saved.
She was talking about some, things about shifting, leaving your quota into another. But I just thought about this expression that, this shows how people sometimes are not really managing well when it comes to maybe the lives they are living and to the people they are living around with. Is this expression that says is it to keep up with the Jonases?
Yeah, to keep up with the Jonases.
You see, yeah. So sometimes that can also lead you in ways that you were not expecting before, because maybe you left where you were living before, and then you went to start seeing some other stuff, and sometimes you find you're not even to that level yet, and you want to live like them, and sometimes you find, don't you think it's sometimes a wrong thing to do?
I don't think so. It actually depends on someone's purpose, what he wants. Maybe you may see that if I keep on living here, I'm not going to expand the way of thinking. Let me shift from this place and go to another. Today
we are living in a world whereby everyone wants to go digital. I hope you understand. We are really all the time, stick to our screens, or different platforms, social media. Like you find yourself, you can zip from Facebook to Instagram to Twitter to YouTube to TikTok to so many out there. So, and you find everything that is passing there, it's all about advertisement. People are advertising their product, and at the end of the day, you find we are consuming, even unwillingly. Sure. In most cases. So, don't you think there are also people who consume where they shouldn't, and other people who consume because they can?
Coming to the previous idea of my sister saying you have to shift to simply like an iron sharpens an iron, a person sharpens a person. That's what she said. But I think you have to understand that I want to tell you one quotation that business is not possible without problems. You have to keep this in your mind. You can never get rich, or it's almost impossible getting rich without knowing, first of all, a problem. So when you are living, I don't see living with the middle class people or low class people as something bad, which can push everybody to be running to live with rich people. I don't think that's a good idea. Even if the society sometimes influence people, But I don't think also we got many things to learn from the low class people, middle class people. So coming to the consumption of things, you said on social media, people are advertising things, sometimes people are consuming what they shouldn't be consuming, and you say sometimes it's good to consume.
Yeah.
I always say, of course, yes, the consumption is inevitable in somebody's life. You cannot live without consuming, but there is consuming and like going over consuming. I hope you understand. I think that's the context in which we are talking right now. So for me, you know the problem, Mr. Patrick, the problem is that the people are consuming what they shouldn't be consuming. The problem is that all this is influenced by the fact of not knowing what you want. So for me, if I say like investing and not consuming more, even if I'm getting more income, it's because I'm having a vision of where I want to be in the future. That's why I'm living in accordance with my future plans. But if I don't have any future plan, I will live however I want. I will consume even the 100% of my income because I don't have the plans for the future. So that's what I understand, that before consuming what you say we are consuming that we shouldn't be consuming, I think we have to first of discover, to make like the introspection, understanding who we are and what we will need in the future so that we can have ourselves exposed on what we want to consume.
Yeah, nice point there. However, you know, there are people out there who really know where they are going and they really know what they want. They see their dream, you know, crystal clear. Yeah. But for them to spend is, you know, something very easy. As you said, like Elon Musk or maybe his children, you know, for them, you know, it's, you know, very simple. So, for example, the child of Elon Musk is exposed to, and he saw a very nice, you know, iPhone that is out on the market. That's a very good example. You see, so is it really bad, or I think it's
for the kid of Elon Musk.
Yeah,
we are not sure if the guys know where they are going, because for them richness is legacy. They didn't work for it. That's why they are consuming however they want. I hope you understand now. That's a very good example you come to give. That's like a support you give him, because the guys are consuming, having maybe the iPhone 15 and something more because they can afford. And the fact of getting the phone, they don't know where it came from. Their father struggled, their grandfather struggled to get that one. So I think, I'm not sure that Elon Musk's kids know where they are going. I'm not sure. We only know what his father showed us, but we are not sure of his kids.
You stuck to the idea of it doesn't mean that the more money we have, the more money we spend.
Yes. No matter what, the more money we have, we don't have to consume too much because we are getting too much income. I think we should be taking advantage of the too much income into a future asset that will be like helpful for the upcoming generation and like the world and something like that. That's what I understand. In fact, for me, we don't have to consume more money because you are earning more money. No, we have to consume because consumption is inevitable in everybody's life, but we have to simply check the balance. Yeah, that's what I understand.
Well, Greta, I hope you got the question asked before. I mean,
first time, though I say to consume, I said we actually have to, we should consume based on what we want. So if you see on maybe they're advertising something, then you see the thing is there, but you see that you have it. Why do you have to buy it? Why you already have it? So I think it requires also a person to think. Though he's consuming, but he has to see why am I consuming?
Yeah, come on, you can't.
Right?
Come on.
No, I'm not coming to your point. I'm not coming to your point. So if a person is buying things, why he has those things?
No, he doesn't have in that case.
He doesn't have?
Yeah, he just have the purchasing power to do. He can buy it, he can afford that, but only he simply has to buy that.
Yeah, if he is able to afford the price.
We should be thinking the context that.
But once you feel like you want it, why not to buy it? You can buy it.
You have to remember this. die still desiring for things. That's why you can never satisfy yourself. If, for example, today you are buying like the iPhone 15, you feel okay, you feel like it's over. If tomorrow there is an iPhone 18, you have to buy the iPhone 18. So do you think you can keep going with like this, what you need, a desire, you keep buying things? Is that what you really think?
But I think even though you may invest, even though you may invest in something, yep, you will have more money. And that time you will be having that money, you will think of consuming the money. And it doesn't mean that though you think of consuming the money, you will always be capable of afford to afford the price of the things that you want, even though you've invested.
There is a certain story that it went viral. Like they showed a video of a certain father who was dancing in a pub. So they wrote the scriptures on the top. They said, for every father who failed to buy a plot in luxury places or classic places. That's what they were doing when they were still young. They were busy dancing in the pubs, consuming. Other fathers are buying lands and everything, but some fathers were dancing in the pubs. So you see, they were consuming, but others were investing in the future. So I think we shouldn't be like that. We should be like facade people who are always targeting the future for the nation, for the upcoming generation, in general for the world. That's what I understand.
Those are exceptions. So once you want just to get more, the people, when they're getting more, they're getting money, they always hope that they keep on getting money. And they also think of how they can keep getting the money in order to fulfill their satisfaction. So once you're thinking about being rich, it means you have to save, of course. You have to, but those are exceptions, and I can't rely on those exceptions.
So you want to be an exception?
No, because the way I live, it satisfies me, because I'm satisfying what I want.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. I see this is a very hot debate. We can't really finish this, but I hope at least those who are watching us today, they could draw one or two ideas from this, and I hope they learned. It was really amazing. Really appreciate, guys. Next time when you get more, you will know what to do. If you think you will be satisfied when you buy something, buy it. But if you think you want to make a difference, maybe as the brother was saying, and you want just to, to be somebody else in the future. I hope everyone wants to be somebody else in the future. So it's up to you, because you can satisfy your needs and then also be able to, to reach what you want in life. So this is the end of the show. I just want to thank my two guests here. Thank you, Greta, for your time here.
Welcome.
Okay, I want to also thank Brother Captain for his time as well here.
Thank you so much.
I just have to appreciate as well our viewers who are always connected with us. Stay tuned. This is BNP TV.